Good day and welcome to another session of Larteen Math Tribe tutorials. In these tutorials, we are going to learn about how to round figures or decimal results into a given number of decimal places. And we will also talk about how to round decimal results into the nearest whole number. For instance, if I want to round a particular result into 2 decimal places, 3 decimal places, or any specific number of decimal places, as well as if you want to round that particular decimal result into the nearest whole number, then how do we do that using the scientific calculator? So that is what we are going to learn about in this particular video. So, to convert values into a specific number of decimal places, we use a particular item on the setup menu known as Fix. So, the setup menu is located just beside the mode button and it is yellow in color, which means if you want to activate it, you will use the Shift key to do that. So what I have to do is to simply tap on Shift and then the mode button to activate the setup menu. So the Fix, as I earlier mentioned, is the 6th item on the setup menu. So if I want to explore this particular item, what I have to do is to simply tap on 6, which is Fix. So when I tap on 6, you can see that this particular item comes with a particular range, and the range that has been given signifies or it indicates the number of decimal places that you want to leave your results in. For instance, if I want to convert my results into 1 decimal place, then what I have to do is to simply tap on 1. If I want to leave it into 3 decimal places, I simply have to tap on 3. And if I want to leave it into the nearest whole number, then what I have to do is to simply tap on 0. So the range has been given from 0 to 9, which means you can specify the number of decimal places from 0 up to 9. Now, let us elaborate our understanding with some examples. Now, we are going to solve some sample questions which have been designed to help us familiarize ourselves with how to simplify and convert our results into a specific number of decimal places. So, without wasting much time, let us move on to the questions. So, these are the questions. And for our first question, we have to convert the following into 2 decimal places. Hi, we have 0.88536. So we have to convert this particular decimal into 2 decimal places. So what I have to do first is to first enter the decimal into the calculator. So we have 0.88536. So I enter that into the calculator. 0.88536. And afterwards, I tap on my equal to sign. So we have 0.88536. And I want to convert it into 2 decimal places. So how do I do that? So what I have to do is to first enter the setup mode. So as I initially stated, we use the combination Shift and Mode. So I tap on Shift and then Mode. And afterwards, I choose the 6th option, which is Fix. So I tap on 6. So now, we have the range from 0 to 9. And as I initially stated, the range indicates the number of decimal places that you want to leave your calculation result. So in my turn, I want to leave it in 2 decimal places. So what I have to do is to simply tap on 2. So I tap on 2. And now we have 0.89. As simple as that. So which means if you convert 0.88536 into 2 decimal places, you have 0.89. Now, let us move on to II. So for that particular example, we have to convert 0.33667 times 5 into 2 decimal places. Now, before that, when we check on top of the calculator screen, we can see that Fix has been indicated. This tells us that the calculator has been set to leave all its results in 2 decimal places, which means the results to the subsequent expressions that I will be inputting into the calculator will be left in 2 decimal places. So we have 0.33667 times 5. So I input that into the calculator. 0.33667 times 5. And afterwards, I tap on equal to. So have you seen that the calculator has automatically converted it into 2 decimal places? So the actual result to this particular expression is 1.68335. But after I inputted it into the calculator has converted the result into 2 decimal places, which is 1.68. So for our third example, we have square root of 19. So we have to convert square root of 19 into 2 decimal places. And as I initially stated, I have already set a calculator to display the results into 2 decimal places. So I don't have to stress myself going over that same procedure. So we have square root of 19. So I input square root of 19. So we have square root of 19 and then I tap on equal to. So if you want to convert this into decimals, what you have to do is to simply tap on SD. So this is SD. So we have 4.36. But in actual sense, square root of 19 is the same as 4.358898944. But the calculator has converted it into 2 decimal places. Now, let us move on to our second example. So for our second example, we are not going to convert it into 2 decimal places. So I'll first clear the calculator setup memory. So I tap on Shift, I tap on 9, and then I choose 1, which is setup. I tap on equal to, and then AC. So this is simply how to clear the calculator setup memory. And we can see that the fix, which was initially indicated on top of the calculator screen, has disappeared. And if you want to learn into details on how to use various ways to clear the calculator's memory, the link to that video is in the description box, so you can check it out. So now, let us move on to the second question. So for our second question, we have to simplify square root of 20 times square root of 8, leaving our answer in 3 decimal places. So what I have to do is to input that expression into the calculator. So we have square root of 20. So I input square root of 20. I use the arrow key to navigate out of the square root sign, times square root of 8, square root of 8. Afterwards, I tap on the equal to sign. So if you want to convert this particular expression into decimal, as I initially stated, you tap on SD. So we have 12.68911. And we want to convert this result into 3 decimal places. So what I have to do is to follow the same procedure that we used earlier. So I have to first enter the setup menu by tapping on Shift and Mode. Shift Mode. And then I choose option 6. So I choose option 6. And we want to leave our results into 3 decimal places. So of course, you simply tap on 3. And now if you want to convert this into decimals, all you have to do is to tap on SD. So we can realize that the calculator has successfully converted it into 3 decimal places, which is 12.649. So now, let us move on to the third question. So for our third question, we have to simplify 22 out of 7 times 7 out of 33, leaving our answer in 5 decimal places. So what I have to do is to first clear the calculator's memory. Why? Because the calculator has been set to leave all its results in 3 decimal places, and that is not what we want in the case of this particular question. So I first clear the calculator's memory. So Shift 9, 1, equal to, and then AC. So I successfully cleared the memory. So we have 22 out of 7 times 7 out of 33. So I input the numerator, which is 22, followed by the division sign, and then 7. I use the arrow keys to navigate to the right side of the expression, times 7 out of 33. So I tap on 7, division sign, and then 33. So I've successfully inputted the expression into the calculator. I tap on equal to. So we have 2 out of 3. And if you want to convert it into decimals, you simply tap on SD. So we have 0.6666667. And now we have to leave our result in 5 decimal places. So we follow the same steps that we used earlier. So I first activate the setup menu. I tap on Shift and then Mode to activate the setup menu, and then I choose option 6, which is fixed. Afterwards, I choose 5 because I want to leave my answer in 5 decimal places. So afterwards, I tap on SD to convert the fractions into decimals. So we have 0.66667. So we can see that the calculator has left the results in 5 decimal places, which was initially a recurring decimal. So now, let us move on to talk about how to leave our results in the nearest whole number. So I'm going to use this same example to do the demonstration. So we have 22 out of 7 times 7 out of 33, which is the same as 0.66667. And now we want to convert this into the nearest whole number. So if you convert this particular decimal into the nearest whole number, it will be rounded to 1. So let us see how we do that using the calculator. So as I initially stated, what you have to do is to enter the setup menu. So you tap on Shift and then Mode. Afterwards, you choose option 6, which is fixed. And now, if you want to convert your results into the nearest whole number, what you have to do is to simply tap on 0. So we do not want to convert it into 1 decimal place or any other decimal place, but rather the nearest whole number. So I tap on 0. So if you tap on 0, and if you want to convert this into decimal, what you have to do is to simply tap on SD. So you can see that this has been indicated as 1 point, which means we have converted it into the nearest whole number, which is 1. So we have come to the end of these tutorials, and we learned about how to round figures into a given number of decimal places. And we also talked about how to round decimal results into the nearest whole number. Please subscribe to the channel before exiting this video. I hope this video was very helpful. My name is Larteen and I hope we had an amazing time together. Thank you and have a nice day.